We are Steve and Marnie. This last summer, we were scheduled to take a 10-week sabbatical in the UK and Germany. The challenges of 2020 forced us to find other ways of resting and fighting for joy. Our new endeavor is to find and film the best gardens we can find in the US.
I have never personally liked gardening, and yet I have found some of my favorite moments in life have been sitting quietly in a garden with my wife. It's great for our relationship, and it's good for our sanity.
We would really appreciate you clicking on the YouTube subscribe button, and make sure to hit the bell to not miss any upcoming episodes.
It's just a little bit after 5 a.m. Time to head back to the airport so that we can fly back to South Dakota. And then we're going to drive from Sioux Falls out to the Black Hills for a wedding.
I did move some seats around, so if I do call your last name, please recheck here with photo ID. Party of 2 of Karski and Turner, party of 2 of Stahl. We've landed back in Sioux Falls, had a good flight, very smooth. Now it's time to head out to the Black Hills. Get to go to our wedding. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good day. Speaking of knee exams, coming through the TSA, the guy says I'm gonna have to pat down your waist and I need to pat down your knees. I'm wearing shorts.
That's weird.
Isn't that weird? And he did. He patted down my knees. I'm trying to figure that one out yet. Did you see it?
No.
I walked through and he's like, I'm gonna have to pat down your waist and your knees. I'm like, okay. So yesterday morning we woke up in Fort Worth, Texas, and we took an early morning airplane to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, got in our car and drove 5-6 hours, whatever it is, out to Rapid City, South Dakota, in the Black Hills. We have a wedding to go to today, but it doesn't start till 4:30, so we're thinking we're gonna try and take in another garden. So this garden is a little bit different. It was established in 1937. It has been in ownership of the same family the entire time, and it's been many years since I have been there. We're gonna go see if we can record the Reptile Gardens, which are pretty well known from the billboards coming down I-90. You'll see Reptile Gardens advertising all over the place. Most people go because of the reptiles. We're going to go there to check out the garden aspect of it, because it is considered a botanic garden. The lady at the counter was very friendly and said too that we can come back in on Monday. Today is Saturday, and if we want to come back in, we can come back on Monday and do some more recording. No charge, as long as we take our picture in front of one of the signs that are out and about here. She also said that she wished we would have come back about 2 weeks ago, because the flowers just got pretty much killed off by the frost outdoors, and they had a really beautiful selection of flowers this year. So we'll have to come back maybe in the spring. There's a wide variety of rocks on display as well, which I do like rocks, so it's interesting. So right here we've got some black jasper as an example. I think rocks add a lot to the life of a garden. They give it some personality. I like rocks.
So we came here when we were teenagers with a youth group trip, and of course you think of seeing the lizards and things like that, and that didn't really interest me much. So here we are, 30 some years later, and I'm appreciating the garden side of it. And so if you just come with an interest in gardens, I think there's a lot to see, and especially if you do like rocks. But they do have a really beautiful variety of trees and shrubs and plants, and it'd be nice to come back in the spring when it's in bloom. We just came from Texas, and down south their fall season is a lot shorter, less than 2 weeks maybe on a good year, where you get to maybe see the changing of some of the leaves and the falling of the leaves. And we are blessed with that in the Midwest, where we can really have some beautiful, lengthy transformation of the foliage. So that's something to appreciate in our neck of the woods. I wanted to point out some of these plants here. So we have a hibiscus growing down here, and then this grass is a zebra grass. So beautiful with the texture and the color. And then we have a buddleia. Not a lot of it grows in zone 4 in this form with the big long flower racemes. And then I believe this is a willow shrub. And then we have a smoke bush, something that we want to get in our yard. So they'll get flowers, and then it turns this really airy, dusty, smoky look. And if you don't love that look of the flowers so much, you can cut the flowers off, and then your leaves are going to grow bigger. So if you really love the foliage, especially in some of these that have purple leaves, you can make it be more about the foliage. So, but they really have a really nice variety of things, and I would like to come back. So I watch enough British gardening shows that I hear the terms rockery and stumpery thrown around. And a rockery is where you take rocks and you do an artistic design and you have plants around them. And a stumpery is where you take bits of old wood or logs and you do them artistically, and often they'll grow ferns and different plants in and amongst them. And it's a form of gardening that a lot of people love. And they've incorporated both of those here.
So this guy was hatched in 1906. He's 114 years old. What's his name?
Orville.
Orville. That's a good name for a 106-year-old.
114.
Okay, I just messed up. I was pleasantly surprised with the trip here. I think I was surprised more by how much I enjoyed some of the rocks and seeing the various different kinds of quartz and the colors of rocks and the petrified wood. So I did enjoy that part. I think the gardens would be really pretty to come back to in the springtime as well. Right now it is nice to see the colors with fall and changing colors. I guess as far as it being a place to come to just really relax, maybe on a Monday or a Tuesday. We're here on a Saturday. It is October, so there's probably a few less people here than what would probably be here in the summertime. But it's not necessarily the place that you come on a weekend to try and relax, because it is a tourist attraction. So there are a lot of kids here. But with that said, I'm pleasantly surprised at how pretty it really is and how much I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend to come.
I wouldn't come just for the reptiles or anything.
You wouldn't come for the reptiles at all.
I would probably skip those, but my son would love it. This is the largest reptile zoo in the world. They have the largest collection. So if you are interested in that sort of thing like my son is, this is the place to come. If you love looking at rocks from around the world and getting to know some of them, they have them interspersed throughout the garden, and they're really beautiful. If you like petrified wood, they have a lot of that all over. And if you can look beyond the season that is ending and realize that a garden is more than just blooming flowers, but it's also the structure and the setup. If you can look at the structure of the trees and the shrubs and the paths and the rocks, it's very inspiring, and you can come away with some ideas here. And that's what's fun about visiting gardens as a home gardener, is to take away ideas and be inspired to create things and be artistic in your own garden.
Now we're in trouble. We have to exit through the gift shop, and there's a lot of stuff. And I don't know if you've ever been with Marnie in a gift shop. I know that in some of our videos you've seen us pull through Starbucks probably quite a few times, because Starbucks is like all over the place. And I do like their coffee. But if I had a choice between Starbucks personally or what's across the street, Caribou and Einstein Brothers Bagels, I take the Caribou and Einstein Brothers Bagels because it's my first choice. However, when I am in Rapid City, South Dakota, this is where I go. Black Hills Bagel. Good stuff. Don't miss an opportunity to check out their bagels, especially if you like salmon. Their Nova Lox bagel is really awesome. So we're gonna go have breakfast. Good morning. Take 2 of the Nova Lox. All right. And then I will take a large coffee, and it's a Go cup.
Can I ask what you were doing? Were you vlogging or were you?
We are vlogging, yes. We are. And we love this place. We're on Rapid City. We come here.
We started a garden channel. We're touring botanic gardens in the
How
nation.
fun! How do I find it?
It's Garden Steele Away. Coffee is superb. It's very good here. I had coffee yesterday at another nice place in town. It just didn't taste very good. Marnie finally talked me into throwing it away. She was threatening that if I kept drinking it, she was just going to put dirt in it so that I wouldn't drink it, because I didn't really like it. There was one time I ordered a Highlander grog and got a cinnamon roll covered in sugar. All right, thank you. Yeah, that's me. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And so anyway, I got a caramel roll with my Highlander grog at like 8 in the morning, and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I could still feel my body just shaking. Anyway, here is Black Hills Bagels. We got smoked salmon, the lox, the onion, just slices, capers, some cream cheese, and just really, really good bagels. So I got the sun-dried tomato basil is what I got. So.
Hot tea and Nova Lox with sesame seed bagel.
I love these every time I come, so And what I'm realizing, the salmon, the Nova Lox, the salmon on these, there's a difference than what I'm used to from other places.
Sit down restaurant, you know, like you can eat buffet or something, that would have been good. I figure out a hot dog at
Very nice. Very good. You'll have to come check out the Black Hills Bagels.
But it is the largest reptile zoo in the world. Here, let me try this again right here.
And one more thing, if it's any consolation, Nicolas Cage came to check out the Reptile Gardens when he was filming National Treasure out here in the Black Hills, and he thought it was a big alligator. So if Nicolas Cage thinks it's a big alligator, it must be a big alligator because it's Nicolas Cage.